Yeah. I already introduced you, but I will do it once again because you deserve it. Today with us is a former UFC fighter who retired with great fighting score. But what is more important than that is that he built up his name, his style, and he had that something to offer to MMA fans. Welcome to Face again.
Thank you so
First
much.
Of all,
thank you to all of you guys and your fans and everybody watching me and invite me. Thank you so much.
Okay, so first question is, what is your occupation these days? We for sure know that you always train and you're always in a good shape.
Yeah, right now I'm here in Spain. I opened the AllStar Gym in Spain. It's the 4,500 quadrat meters. It's the MMA gym. It's an MMA gym, CrossFit gym, and normal gym. We have an outdoor CrossFit inside, and we try to help and build up the MMA community here in Europe, so people can have a camp and everything here. So right now
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm working with my passion.
Yeah, we'll talk about
MMA.
that. Yeah, we're glad to hear that. We will talk about that later, but I would start with another topic. We often talk so easily about, the present and the future that we forget some important days from the past. What your beginnings in wrestling look like? And I know that you were good both in Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling.
Yeah, honestly, I started with freestyle wrestling when I was very young. Then I convert freestyle to Greco-Roman because Greco-Roman was much more popular in Sweden. My parents, I'm born in Iran, but I grew up in Sweden since I was 11 years old. So, and in Sweden, the culture was much more stronger when it came to the Greco-Roman wrestling. So I started from that point, and when I was 26 years old, I converted again from wrestling to MMA. I went to watch my friend's fight, MMA fight, and I was completely in love with the sport. So from the same day, I started with MMA.
After 2006, you started with MMA. You competed in a few organizations such as SAS, SC, FFC, to UFC, of course. I remember your pre-fight interview. I think it was for GNP TV. A journalist asked you about predictions for that match, and you said one interesting thing. I trained a lot for some special thing, and I promise you something very, very spectacular. And after that, what happened? The second round, 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you did a guillotine choke. So how do you remember that fight, that life period, whether it was a dream come true?
Honestly, from my MMA career, from my all the memory I have was such a nice memory. Is feel me like you said, the dream came true, because everything I dream about became true. I want to tell you something very, very, very nice, and the valuable. I remember the first time I ever watched MMA, it was in my friend's house, the same guy who I have a gym with together. So we watched the Vito Belfort, and I was amazing. This guy is amazing. And when I start at that time, if somebody want to tell me, Reza, one day you want to go in the same fight card like a Vito Belfort, I'm never gonna believe that. Maybe 20 years old after, we was in the same fight card in London, me and Vito Belfort, and it was the amazing feeling. But unfortunately, Vito Belfort get injury, so he couldn't be in that card. But what I try to say is, all my dream became true, and I have a wonderful memory of all my fights. It's like you say, the choke, everything. It was just feel me so happy when I think about it.
What was your best performance And when you felt the most powerful? Now, when you look back.
Yeah, when I look back, it was one of my best performance was my absolutely last fight I did, because I took it in the very short notice. I jumped in the fight 7 days before the fight. I remember I got the call the 1 o'clock at the night time. My manager asked me, Reza, Maybach, the Chechen or Dagestani guy, he get injured, and I jump in instead for him. And I meet the Brazilian guy in my hometown in Stockholm, and it was very short time. And in my opinion, I did a fantastic job, and all the respect for my opponent. I'm still friends with him, Joaquin Silva, but that wasn't the result I accepted. But it was one of my best performances, because in the short notice, no training camp, I did a really good job. So it's one of my fights. I'm proud of all my fights, but this is one of those I really remember. Yeah.
When someone mentions Reza Madadi, first things that comes to my mind is that incredibly intense stare downs you had at the UFC face-offs. So tell me something, how real is that moment?
Honestly, for me, it was 100% real, because like the UFC logo is as real as you can get. Two men, they train very hard, they go inside the cage, they punch each other in the face. So it's no love before a fight. So for me, it was the 110% serious. Go there, intense, show what you want to, what you will to do tomorrow, and after the fight is something totally different. After the fight, we are friends, we can go to the barbecue, but before a fight, hey man, I'm here to almost kill you. And I accept the same from you.
It's a real thing.
Yes, it's real stuff.
You're for sure someone that went through ups and downs, but you held MMA tightly to you. So when did you realize it's time to retire?
Yeah, I have been through a lot of stuff in my life. Up and down is like everybody else. That's the life. The life gives you a good lesson. I mean, you can never go just up or just go down. And it has been like this for me, and it's gonna be the same. And I learned from my past, and hope the future is gonna be better. And when I decided to retire from the MMA was for almost 2 years ago. And I started to feel it's not like before I walk into the cage, my heart got pumped. I almost cry of the happiness, of the feeling was like crazy. But slowly, I start to realize that other stuff is important in life. And I need to put my focus on other stuff. My kids, the future, the gym I build up, and it was time to just say bye-bye to the professional MMA career. And now I work like a trainer, and very happy of my life. And
so during your career, like every fighter, like every professional fighter, you have had some serious injuries. Tell me, what was the worst injury you have ever experienced, and how hard is to get back in shape after that?
One of the worst injury I got, it was I think it was it was after my last fight. I got the whole finger in my eye, this one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I started to bleeding, and I was almost so close to become blind. I couldn't see. I went to the hospital. I was there for 5 weeks, and I get back. It was good, but it took me long time to start again with MMA and martial arts to come back and start to dare to spar and everything, because you know the eyes is everything. I mean, if you cannot
Yes.
see, then it's, so you need to be very careful and take care of yeah, the body. So my worst injury in my life was my eye, but now hopefully it's good and I'm back on track.
Yeah. Was it harder mentally or physically to you know, to overcome that situation?
Honestly, the hardest part was the mental. And I mean, the mental issue is the worst enemy of you. If you can come up with
Definitely.
that, you know, when you have the mental health, you are the strongest man in the earth. So for me was the mental part, but I came over it, and now I'm hopefully, thanks to God, I'm here and healthy. But I don't want to go any more fights. So everybody asking me, where is the next fight? Where is the next fight?
Like never, or maybe you're thinking about it, like maybe
You
I
never
can try
know.
one.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I
Yeah.
wanted to hear that.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have one question, but try to be honest with me.
Yes, 100%. I'm
Uh,
always honest.
had, I know you are, but I will try to take one name from you. Has
Okay.
anyone beaten you so much in sparring or match that you had to admit yourself like he beats me very well? And would you reveal to us who was it?
Honestly, I have 21 or 22 professional MMA fights, and the top of those guys, I need to say, was Rich Clemente. Rich
Yeah.
Clemente was honestly, it was some other level. Very, very, very experienced, strong, and tough guy. I have very big respect for all of my opponents. I'm almost friends with all of them who I meet in all my career, and some of them I have a very good even connection still today. But one of the hardest was, I need to say, was Rich Clemente. That
Yeah.
bastard is punched very hard.
Okay, so we mentioned your gym. You spent a lot of time in Alicante, Torrevieja, and Benidorm, and as a co-owner, you opened AllStar Gym, I think, May 2022, before a few months. Am I right?
Yes.
Tell me more about it. What were first impressions after opening?
Why we started, why we opened it here, it was like, I have been in this area for 20 years. I have a summer house here, I coming and go, and always when I came here, the question was, just look at the weather, look at the sun, look at, it's always like this, it's amazing. And it was like, why nobody opened the gym here? Like a Tiger Muay Thai, because people from whole Europe, they travel all the way to the Thailand to have a training camp there. And for me, was like, man, we should open it here. Then for 3 years ago, me and very childhood friend of mine, Chris, we decided to open this gym with my brothers from Sweden, AllStar Gym in Sweden. We are the same company, so we decided we open here 4,500 square meters. Now we are a legit CrossFit gym. We are inside and outside. You can see the outside CrossFit now, and they're very, very big MMA part. So the thing is, we want to give the opportunity for a young fighter, to the young generation, and all the fighters. They don't need to go all the way to the Thailand or some other country. They have all the facility here in Europe, the middle of Europe. The weather is nice. It's very cheap here. So yeah, for me, in my time, it wasn't like this. So now
Yeah, we will talk about it. Yeah, we will talk about it too. So what is so special about AllStar Gym? You know, I know that many guys from Balkan and generally from Europe comes to to come to AllStar Gym?
Yes, because first of all, we have a really good atmosphere at the gym. Everybody are welcome. Until you are a good guy, good person. And we have a really good coaches, very good fighters, and they put all the heart and energy to help people. Because in some gym, you just go, they bang on each other. MMA is not about this. MMA was about the technique, your conditioning, to be really good prepared. And this is what we try to give to the young generation, to the athlete, to all those people who compete in MMA. So this is what made us special.
Definitely. So how much European community has changed from your MMA beginnings to this day?
Yeah. When I started with MMA, almost nobody knew exactly. When you said, I'm training MMA, I do this, people didn't know. They ask you, what? What's happening? Is wrestling or is boxing? You're supposed to explain for people. But this day, wherever you go, everybody knows what MMA is. I went to the hospital for a couple of months ago with a young guy from the gym. His parents wasn't at the gym, he get injury, so I went to the hospital with him. So one of the highest doctor, she was maybe 60 years old. She ran into me and started asking me about Alexander Gustafsson. Hey, when will Alex come back? When is the next one? What about you? I mean,
he knows everything.
You understand? So now everybody knows. People are educated about the MMA. They don't think it's the two guys, they jump in each other and punch each other in the face. It's not like that. People are educated. They know, oh, now he's going to go for arm bar. Now he's a guillotine. Now he's standing up. So this is what I see. This is what I feel from the knowledge in MMA is very high right now.
Yeah, so definitely your true and pure experience can speak about what does European community needs to improve itself. So like it's about better gym or more coaches or I don't know, more new promotions and chances for new MMA stars. What do you think?
I think in Europe, honestly, in Europe, we have a lot of good fighters. In every country you see, they just develop is very high. What I think we need the people who really care about the fighters, especially the young generation, to match up them very right, the promotion, the new good manager, because don't disrespect any manager. I don't have such an idea or information about it. But in my opinion, the manager need to be the people who really care about the fighters. And like I said, new promotion to the people can get more and more fight. And the gym like here. I mean, so people, they have the place to train, to develop, to be good. This is what I think. And of course, the good trainer. The trainer need to really take care of the guys or the girls. I mean, put the soul, put the energy on them. This is what I think.
Definitely. So who do you see as the biggest potential in the UFC, except Khamzat?
Honestly,
I said that because I had that in mind that you maybe said Khamzat.
Honestly, I don't want to be rude or just be on one direction. I cannot see anybody else because the only one I think about is Khamzat. You know?
Yeah.
And you can see after his last fight, he went over the #2 contender in the world, and people was like, what's happened? Why didn't Khamzat just throw over the guy? I mean, because the expectation is so high when he's coming to the Khamzat. So I think he has a wonderful future in UFC. But in the same time, we have a new generation on the way up. I see many, many potential people, girls and boys. We have girls. She compete today in the morning in Singapore. Josephine Thunder. She's very young, very, very talented, and she win the fight today. So I see a lot of young generation, the young generation, especially in Europe. They're on the way up.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Khamzat, and that is my next question. Khamzat Chimaev is someone who is the most dedicated, one of the most dedicated guys. He works really hard. He is disciplined. He have a good work ethic. You know, he's definitely that guy. So how do you see him in future? Who can be his biggest challenge?
You know, like I told you, I said, I promise you to be honest. And
yeah,
this is the MMA. MMA business is a small glove. Everything can happen. I mean, but what I see, I have been in his corner. I just missed 2 fights when he have been in the States. What I see from these guys is like he's on the way to the party. He's so glad before he go to the cage. He has a so good energy. He trained hard. So the only thing I can see stopping is Khamzat self. You know, I can't see anybody can stop this guy. The way he trained, the way he lives, the way he won the belt is unbelievable. And like everything else, you are always the worst enemy of yourself. So in my opinion,
that's true.
Yeah, I can't see anybody can stop Khamzat, honestly. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of July, we have another mate on the UFC Fight Night 208 is Alexander Gustafsson. He will meet Nikita Kirillo. So what do you think about outcome of that match?
First of all, I want to say, if somebody asks me who is the nicest guy in the MMA world, I definitely want to say Alexander Gustafsson. I love this guy so much because this guy is so humble, so nice guy, and they're in the same time so good athlete. They will have a training camp here the 20th of June. If 10 days they want to come here and have a training camp. Alex trained very, very hard, dedicated guy, has a lot of good coaches around him. Of course, Andreas Michael and other guys we have around him. So I cannot see anything else without the victory for Alex. Is what I see. If I want to be realistic, and what I wish. Yeah. Because I have seen him train very, very hard for this fight, and he's looked amazing, look good.
Yeah, we for sure can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
So another thing is that these days there has been talk about 2 names from the lightweight division, and it's about Charles Oliveira and Conor McGregor potential fight. Yes. I don't know what does that mean, but okay. But what do you think about that fight, if something like that can happen?
I hope not, because I know Conor is a big name, big respect for him. He built up his name very great. But we don't need that kind. The MMA world, the MMA community doesn't need that kind of fight. Maybe for make money is the good way. But the other guys who deserve it much, much more, and they stand on the line. I mean, Islam Makhachev, in my opinion, is the best fight can happen between him and Mr. Oliveira. So, in my opinion, if you're asking me if I was a matchmaker, no, Mr. Conor doesn't deserve it. Because we have this guy been in the last 2 years. And look at his last fights. Lost against top contender. Sorry, I forgot his name. But no, I don't think he deserves it. The only one I can see deserve it is Mr. Islam Makhachev. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about Jiří Prochazka and Teixeira?
The both of them amazing guy. I mean, Teixeira, I just want to stand up and lift up the hat for this guy. In his age, we was in the same fight card when he meet Alexander Gustafsson. And the way he get beat up of Alex, it was like, oh my God, this never gonna come back. He came back and he became the champ. Not just one time, he keep the belt. His age, he fought with the top contender in the world, and this guy is amazing. And it's been very exciting to see that fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Both of them, so let's see. Let the best man win.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Reza, thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and I don't know, have a nice day.
Yes,
and
thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you to have me in your show, to invite me. And again, I want to say I'm so sorry for yesterday. I had an issue, some problems. I missed it. I don't want you guys to feel like I was disrespect or ignorance and missed the interview. I'm so sorry. But it was so nice to have you and talk to you today. And thank you again.
Thank you very much, and some greetings to your AllStar Gym team from Freak MMA and Mega Promotion. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and thank you to all your followers. Khodafez, روز خوبی داشته باشید. I said in Persian because everybody want me to say something in Persian. Thank you.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.